Hey guys, it's Life with Ebby, and I am here to talk about COVID. So I did a video yesterday on COVID-19, and when I had it, the symptoms that I was experiencing and things like that. I also went in a little bit on the Bamlanivimab, and I thought it was important for me to come back and give a little bit further details on it and, give a little bit more inside information, some of the research that I have came across dealing with the antibody. So what I wanted to come on here and let you guys know is, when it comes down to the symptoms that I had, it was, like I said before, I was diagnosed on the 12th. And I got the Bamlanivimab, which is the antibody, on the 16th. So after I got the antibody, I was doing much better with the symptoms. And I was declared that a negative. It's been a while now. So I'm going to say about a week or so. And so that's the last time I tested positive for COVID. However, I have been having some lingering side effects. So when I say lingering, it feels like COVID is just hanging over my head, like everywhere I go and stuff like that. Like I can't go out. I'm really not going anywhere, but even to go out and get in the car and go places, it's like I'm getting overwhelmed and overheated, and I break out into sweats. And so when I was doing some research, I'm noticing that a couple of people that I know who had it, they experienced symptoms like this maybe a month after they get, over a negative test. So yeah, I'm just going to be monitoring those side effects and see how long they linger. If I get to feeling back at 100%, I'll make another video updating you guys on it. But as for right now, I'm still experiencing that. Yeah. So what I want to talk about today is the Bamlanivimab. So I've been practicing my saying Bamlanivimab, the Bam Bam, as it's also being called. And it is, I have some notes here. It's a monotherapy drug, mono meaning one. So it's used by itself as a monotherapy or in conjunction with other drugs to treat the symptoms of COVID-19. All right, so basically what the Bamlanivimab does is decrease the viral load in patients with mild to moderate COVID symptoms. And the viral load is the amount of COVID, the virus that you have in your body. So when you decrease the viral load, it decreases the symptoms. So the Bamlanivimab, it basically is an antibody. And I'm going to insert an example video here, and in the description I will give credit, but I'm going to insert so you all can understand. I like visuals so I can understand, because the actual COVID cell, it is a spiked cell. It has spikes on it, and what the Bamlanivimab is, it's an anti-spike neutralizing antibody. So it goes against those spikes. So in look at here, the COVID vaccination, it looks like like this, and it has like these little, if y'all can see, it has like these little spikes on them. See that? And those spikes allow the virus to be able to attach to the cells in a human and invade and replicate the genetic material, and that's the way the virus attacks the human cells. So I'm going to put the video so y'all can see.
And spot it through a typical light microscope. Only with an electron microscope can we see its spiky surface. Despite its diminutive size, the novel coronavirus, dubbed SARS-CoV-2, has seemingly taken the world by surprise with its virulence. Cell biologists have been working to better understand the virus and the ways it differs from the coronaviruses that caused the previous epidemics. If we can reveal hidden targets and an Achilles heel, that could help us develop treatments to combat these viruses quickly and efficiently. To understand the unique nature of SARS-CoV-2, it's important to compare.
The name of this drug is Bamlanivimab. I know it's quite difficult name to pronounce, but that is what it is. Basically, this drug is a monoclonal antibody against spike protein of coronavirus. Now let's discuss what this drug is about and how it actually works. So in this schematic diagram of coronavirus, this is the spike proteins. So this coronavirus is surrounded by spike proteins, and these spike proteins, they help in binding with its receptors, with its ACE2 receptor. And as it binds with its ACE2 receptors, this virus then enters inside the cell and it causes the infection. And by the way, it mainly infects which cells? It infects type 2 alveolar pneumocytes in our lungs, type 2 epithelial cells of our alveoli of our lungs. Right, so what happens is that this antibody is actually against this spike protein. So as it is against the spike protein, it binds with the receptor binding domain of spike protein, and in this way it prevents the entry of coronavirus into the cell. Right, it prevents the entry of coronavirus into the cell, number one. Secondly, what it does is that as it binds with the spike proteins, it tags that virus that it is a dangerous thing, right? The binding of that antibody tells the immune system that this thing is tagged with antibody, so it must be something dangerous. It's an enemy.
Yeah, so I hope that the video that I added is a little helpful to give you a visual of what the cell does and also how the Bamlanivimab interacts with the coronavirus cell. So next, I'm going to talk about the Bamlanivimab drug in itself. So it's manufactured by the Eli Lilly company, and on the website it tells you, there is a site that tells you, which is the FDA.gov. This is some information about Bamlanivimab and some people who would be eligible for it. So it says high risk is people are eligible for the treatment of Bamlanivimab for COVID, mild to moderate symptoms. And if you have a body mass index of greater than 35 kilograms, if you have chronic kidney disease, have diabetes, have immunosuppressive diseases, are currently receiving immunosuppressant treatment, are over 65 years old, have cardiovascular disease, have hypertension, COPD. If you have any of these problems, asthma, any pulmonary disorders, heart disease, you may qualify for the treatment of Bamlanivimab. Bamlanivimab is still being researched right now, so there's not a whole lot of information on it. However, I was able to find some information, and it just states that it may cause some toxicity because in one person that was being studied, that person did have an anaphylactic response. So it's still being researched, of course. You know, this is something new that they're trying. As with anything, they still have a lot of research left to do on this. But, you know, just as a person who received it, it was very beneficial to me. What I want to also talk to you all about is some of the things that I've been hearing in the news. I've been hearing about a new strand of COVID-19, and I seem to have been hearing about a couple of different ones, but the one most that stood out the most to me is the one from South Africa. Only because when I was watching the news, it said that the vaccination that I received, which is made by Moderna, may not work. And they were saying that in order for the one that I received to work, I would need to go back in a couple of months and get an additional shot, such as like a booster, for it to be adequate. So, like the people who received the Pfizer injection for the vaccination, they wouldn't have to receive the booster. But if you receive the Moderna vaccination, like I did, you will have to, receive the booster in order for that to be effective. But, like I said, I got the COVID vaccine and then I caught COVID. So, I didn't get both of the injections yet. I didn't get both of the doses. I just only got the first one. It's a series of 2. So what I read was patients who receive the Moderna needs a booster shot for adequate protection. And the new strand, the South African strand, is highly contagious and may not be affected by the vaccine. So basically it won't stop it from invading your body. The coronavirus protein has spike proteins around it, which are critical in the spread of the virus because it binds to the receptors of human cells and genetically mutates itself. So that's basically what I was telling you about, and you all saw the example that I put in there earlier about how the virus pretty much invades the body and duplicates itself and corrupts the cells and causes you to feel so icky and horrible. So as I get more information, as I continue to study the virus and treatments, I am going to keep you all updated on what I can find, and so we can all make sense together. Thank you for watching, and like this video, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, and yeah, y'all be safe out there.